Hi everyone, we're back with another Quiver review. This time it's the Naga by Numair Archery. The Naga is a very fascinating and eye-catching design, and certainly people who have been watching my channel and watch me shoot in real life will have been captivated by its appearance. You can see up close here, it is very different to what you would normally expect from a back quiver. Now most people are more familiar with the tubular style back quivers. This is a back quiver, but very different in form. It is a very functional quiver. Now it is quite decorative. Numair himself hand painted this, so there's a certain hand painted charm to it. It's not exactly high quality art, and I bear in mind that the price range of this is about $100 and something US dollars, so it's fairly inexpensive considering it is handmade. So the craftsmanship, or the practical craftsmanship, is really good. We'll go through the details later, but the artistic part of it is that there's a certain charm to it. I do like the look. It is based off a ceremonial Javanese pattern, although he has adapted it to be more practical in terms of using it. You'll see a close-up here of the patterns used. You'll recognize some of these from the Indonesian, more specifically the Javanese traditional patterns. And of course on the outside, in case you missed the detail, is the Naga. The Naga is a mythical creature that is a dragon or a serpent. You see the Naga bordering the top of the quiver. We'll see some of the other details here, and a small subtle thing is the Numair Archery stamp right there in the middle. You can barely see, but it's pretty cool. And we've got, you can see the stitching on the sides here, which is pretty nice too. So it's a pretty good pattern. I do like the work behind it. Like I said, there's a certain charm to a simple hand-painted homemade quiver, and this is a nice eye-catching thing to have. Of course, as a quiver, we care about the arrow carrying capacity, and that's what we see on the inside. So you can see there are spacers, so it is a leather spacer. In fact, there are two layers. There's the main compartment up here, which follows that line, as you can see, and there's also some spacers below that. Now I haven't really used these. Now I have seen people use these. I don't think you need to, but you can. Which kind of begs the question, what's the arrow capacity of this quiver? I haven't exactly figured out yet, because it depends on how many arrows you fit between each spacer. So the way I load this quiver is I tend to use both layers of the spacer. So you can see I've got, hope you can see that. I'll go like one in here, and then I'll go the one opposite that. So I'm not just using one side, I'm using both. Now that gives me a bit of extra capacity as far as I know, but the spacers are not particularly set, so they are kind of flexible. You don't have to do it this way. You can always use just one layer, and it's like kind of like a single stacking a magazine compared to double stacking. But I'm going to double stack this because that works fine for me from my testing. It was completely fine. So we'll see how many arrows we can fit. I think we're doing pretty well so far. I think I could squeeze in a couple more if I really wanted to, but that seems to be quite fine. So this is a double stacked top side. Maybe excessive here, but that's a double stack quiver right there. So from that alone, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Funny number. I could fit another one, but that's 11's plenty for a quiver. I mean, I got 12. Why not? We'll do 12. All right. I could probably fit in one more, but I think 12 is a pretty good number to have in. So that seems okay, actually. All right. That's 12 on the top compartment. Now, again, I have seen people use the bottom spacers. I never really tried to do so. I think 12 is more than enough, but can I squeeze in more? That's a little tight there. I might do, I don't know, 1. That's an easy fit for 1. That's 13. Yeah, 14. I'm not sure if I really need. This is excessive. I think that's all I can really do. Oh, yeah, I can do one more there. Can I fit another one in? See, how many did Armin fit in his one? Let's see. I don't really want to fit one there. Okay, why not? Okay. Yeah, it's looking a little ridiculous, I think. So I've got 12 double stacked in the main compartment. I've got 4 in the spaces here. I could squeeze in more, but I think that's overkill. Even as it is, it's kind of ridiculous, but you can definitely carry more than a dozen arrows if you really wanted to. So yeah, that's a capacity. I'd say 12 if you double stack the main compartment, plus some extra if you really wanted to. Very important to note that it isn't a flat quiver. It does have this bump at the bottom, and imagine the purpose of this is that when you put it on your back, it does somewhat push against your back, so it aligns the quiver slightly forward so you can easily reach the arrows. This is okay. It's not too uncomfortable, although if you spend all day walking around this, you might feel it jam to your back, so you might want to take it off every now and then. But it's actually fairly ergonomic. I didn't feel anything too bad about it. This is meant to be used on horseback as well, by the way. You'll see videos of Numair demonstrating the quiver from horseback. So while you can't use it on foot, it was designed to be on horseback. Which explains the very wide belt, and this is where I should do really like this quiver. We have some nice visuals, of course, but the belt system works really well. So you have a very wide leather belt, which is meant to go across your waist or your stomach, depending how high you want to wear it. And you also have a securing belt over the shoulder, which allows you to position the quiver a bit more securely. It also kind of tilted either left or right, depending on your handedness. So it's not hard to put on, but there are a few steps to be involved here. So you have to know that there is that shoulder one. You want to keep across the shoulder. I am right-handed, so I'll keep that across the right shoulder. I want to slip the loop over here through the belt, so that way we have some security. Now I do know that the original models didn't have a shoulder strap. They just came with a waist strap, but the more recent ones do have a shoulder strap. And if there's any complaint to have, is that apparently Indonesians are very skinny people. So I'm not the skinniest person, but there really isn't that many holes in the belt for a somewhat thicker person. More so if you're wearing a lot of clothing on top, like if I'm wearing a jacket, I'll probably struggle to fit on this belt, but that's fine. So, and you can always adjust the shoulder strap too, depending on what I'm wearing or how much I need to reach across. I can adjust that. I'll do one more, make it a little tighter, and you can tuck the strap in. There, so pretty neat there. I feel a little chubby at the moment, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a somewhat wider belt for, I guess, Western bodies. But there you go, it works. So that's what it looks like when you wear it on your back. You can see I've got it fairly tilted this way. You can always adjust it, but that's fine for me actually. So again, if you're left-handed, you can always shift the thing across to your left side. Yeah, I probably should do before this, but I'll keep on the right side because I am right hand, so I'll reach across here. So back view, that's the cool view, of course. It looks pretty cool actually. So very cool pattern, there's no doubt about that. Like I said, very eye-catching in the range, and all the arrows are easily within reach. Now in terms of how easy it is to retrieve the arrows, let's grab a few. I'll do some mock shots. Now I personally prefer pulling it below the feathers or at the feathers. That's just the way I pull things. So I'd rather have that short stroke, come up and then shoot. And then we'll pick the next one, come up and shoot, and then come up and shoot, and then come up and shoot. Actually is pretty natural. Okay, so I know some people would prefer to grab by the nocks, kind of the Howard Hill kind of style. You can do that. Some of these arrows could go in a little deeper, so you can reach in. I tend not to. So I find it a little more difficult myself because I've got shorter arms. I kind of don't reach around very far. And I have trouble kind of whipping the arrow onto the bow, but you can do so. I don't practice doing it, but those who do prefer holding it by the nocks for speed reasons or ease of manipulation, you can do so. But in fairness, that's not what I normally do. So I prefer holding it by that and shooting quicker that way. So definitely functional. And again, if you prefer using nocks, that's fine. I just prefer holding it by the shaft for these kind of quivers, and it works completely fine too. Now, reloading. Alright, most back quivers you can easily dump to the back, but in this case you've got spaces, so the way I do this, I kind of remove the shoulder strap and I shuffle it across on the belt so I can see what I'm doing, and I'll load it this way. I think I'll just load 12 rather than 16 because it is a little funny to shoot 16, and again I kind of overkill, and I don't care too much about carrying that many arrows. So you don't really need that many arrows. In the end, you're going to shoot like a dozen or half a dozen, and I'll do it this way. So it's pretty quick and simple actually. We'll double stack them with spacers. It looks kind of weird, but that's the price you get for kind of looking cool, I guess. There we go. And I got one extra somehow. I'll stuff it in there. Okay, seems like that's not bad. All right. Again, I could use the inner spaces for more arrows, but I don't think I need that for today. So we'll just stick with our 12 or so. We'll shuffle the quiver back over, shoulder strap up. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so it might look a little awkward, but that's actually not that bad. I'm trying to get my strap around. There we go. Seems a little okay-ish to me. I do wish the belt was a little wider though. It is a well-made belt, but my goodness, yeah, there are some skinny people over there. There we go, we're back to normal now. Alright, so as you can see here, I've got a front view. You can't really see the quiver, but you can see the action from the front. I will rotate the angle, different footage to show the quiver in action. So let's have a shot. That's pretty cool. Okay, I missed one shot, but the rest looks pretty good. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Numair Naga back quiver. I think it's an excellent quiver. It shoots as good as it looks, and it's comfortable to wear. Feels very light. You don't really notice you're wearing a back quiver until you hit a branch or something. But the action's very smooth. Arrows come out really easily. Didn't really have any trouble using it, adjusting to it for the first time. So very impressed at how practical it is. I think it's a great design, and it was a really good price too. I only paid, I think, 130 US dollars plus shipping. So that was a really affordable price for any quiver, let alone one that is handmade and feels this good. I'm not sure if Numair has continued making it. He did mention that due to the difficulty of manufacture and the low demand, that he might be discontinuing it. So if you do check the website, you might find what's still available, and if there's enough demand for it, maybe he'll make it again. So anyway, do check out the Numair Archery website for other similar products. It's been great working with Numair so far. I bought this, of course, so this is something I saw and I thought, you know what, I want to get it myself anyway, and definitely was worth the price for me. Anyway, hope you found that interesting and helpful. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.